I'd like to wish you a very happy and blessed Easter season. I said that correctly. It is still the Easter season. The church in her wisdom gives us 7 weeks to ponder, reflect, and to enter into the gift of the resurrection on a deeper level. The first 3 weeks after Easter, the scriptures focus on the reality of Jesus Christ in his resurrected body. And he appears to the disciples and to the apostles, and he tells them, yes, it's me. I'm here. I'm alive. Touch me. Put your hands into my wounds. Let me eat with you and drink with you. Convincing the disciples that everything he said would happen, in fact, did. And then the last 4 weeks of the Easter season, our sacred scriptures remind us through Jesus's continuing teachings. He spent 40 days intensely reminding his disciples what he had told them before he began his Paschal mystery, and to explain what their role would be, what their new mission would be, that they would continue his earthly mission once he left during the ascension. So, the Catholic Church, in her wisdom, gives us this 7 weeks. The Catechism of the Church calls Jesus' resurrection the crowning truth of our faith, the crowning moment. Christ's resurrection is God's dramatic promise of faithful love, that everything that was revealed, everything that was promised, has been fulfilled. There are no more covenants. Jesus Christ, the resurrected Lord, is the final covenant with humanity, and in fact with all of creation. So, eternity and eternal joy does await us. And that conviction, the truth of the resurrection, can and should be transforming our earthly experiences. Not just to give us hope, but to give us the courage to continue to act lovingly, even amidst sacrifice and suffering and evil that still exists in the world. So during Eastertide, we are invited to remember what it is we're celebrating. And this is a celebration we desperately need. We are invited to continually seek the Lord, to look for him. He is alive. To look for him both in behind our closed doors, behind our locked doors, in our tombs. Remove the stones within us. To look to him and for him in the new life that is springing in nature during this most beautiful time of the year. We are invited to recognize the presence of the risen Lord now. He has not abandoned us, and he wants us to allow him to transform us so that we can be his hands, his feet, his body, everywhere we go. We are called to cling to that love of the Lord, allowing the reality of his eternal promise, his final covenantal gift, to be the anchor of our lives each day, the foundation that enables us to live even in the dark days with serenity and hope. So we're nearing the end of this 7-week pondering, reflecting process. It's time to live the resurrection. And that's not always easy. Sometimes we just want to stay in bed, pull the covers over our head, and close out our world. Some days it seems easier and safer to keep the doors of our houses locked and avoid all the painful circumstances and the people in our lives. Sometimes we just want to run away and hide and not deal with any of the reality of our daily existence. But I want to share with you that every time we shut the doors of our life, we hide behind locked doors. Our life, our mind, and our heart, we imprison ourselves. And we remove ourselves from living every event, for encountering every person or idea. We lock everything out. And regardless of the reason, we lock ourselves in. The resurrection is screaming at us. Life can, should be, and is different because of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So, I invite you to ask yourself this question: how is my life different today? After we've celebrated the resurrection of Christ this Easter, is it different? Do I still have locked doors? Do I still have areas within my body, my soul, my mind, my heart that are hidden behind stones? What keeps me in the tomb? What keeps me in darkness? Maybe like the disciples, it was fear. Fear of the unknown, questions, disbelief, doubts. Or our expectations of what the resurrection means is totally different than the reality of what God revealed. Maybe our wounds are so deep that we are hiding behind them to protect ourselves. But because he has arisen and is alive, Jesus is constantly seeking to enter into the locked places of our being. He does come knocking at the door. He wants to give us new life. He wants to open the closed doors, the closed hearts. And he wants to stand within us to give us his peace, to breathe new life into us. He doesn't force himself on us. God is a gentleman. But he waits and he knocks. And all he wants to do is to give us himself. And he gives us all we need to make the resurrected life a reality in our lives today. The circumstances of our life in our world may not change. Disasters will still happen. The hungry still need to be fed. The divisions are broader and deeper than we ever imagined. Our loved ones will die. There is pain and suffering in this life. But the life and the peace and the reality of Jesus' resurrection enables you and I to meet and to live through all the circumstances of our lives only by the presence and power of his Holy Spirit. Jesus, the resurrection, the resurrected Christ gives us his peace, his breath, and his life, and then sends us out. So we are free to unlock the doors of our lives and step outside into his life. So happy Easter season to you, as we prepare our inner selves to celebrate his ascension and the gift of his Spirit at Pentecost. God bless you.